This is News 6 Tonight.
Good evening to you and welcome to News 6 Tonight. So glad to have you with us here at the powerful KMG. My name is Matt Austin. It's
I'm
9
Ginger
o'clock.
Gadsden. You're overcompensating because you're tired.
Whoa, you can't say that.
It's just said
No,
you had a busy weekend, and the weekends can
I had
take
a
it out of
lot
you, and
going
then
on.
yeah, and
Got a
then
big
Mondays roll
family at
around.
the
But
Austin
yeah, yeah,
house. But no, I
yeah.
feel good. I feel energized tonight.
Yeah, because of the fresh air, the fresh, cool air that's out there
That wind was
circulating right
whipping
now.
this morning when I took my little bug off to school.
If you think it's whipping now, just hang on to your old
What my old
1999 hat because you're going to need
what's
all.
a 1999?
I don't know, a hat you bought in 1999, you wouldn't still have it. We are about to get hit with some of the, I meant to say 1993 because that's the last time we've been this cold. I got my dates mixed up in
Okay.
my head.
All right.
And so we are about to get hit with some of the coldest air we have seen since 1993. And by cold, I mean some areas are going to dip into the 30s because normally we don't lead with weather unless it's like a hurricane or something like that coming toward us. But
Or a
to,
gigantic cold front.
and that is what we see right now. We are going to bring in our meteorologist, David Nazario, who's been watching this thing. A lot of meteorologists have been talking about it. And David, before you get to a boxing analogy, I'm going to beat you to it. But this cold weather, this cold air is going to be like a punch in the face.
It really is, Ginger. And I was going to say, since Matt encouraged it before the show got started, if you hearken back to Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frazier, the way temperatures are dropping out there, it's just like that fight. In the first 20 seconds, Marvis Frazier was knocked out, and it was a complete bust in terms of folks who paid for the pay-per-view back then. If you look at the
Yeah.
temperatures right now, if we could pull those up, please, for our viewers, look at that. We've really dropped off. When we first started earlier today at around 4 o'clock for our 4 p.m. newscast, everybody was hanging out in the mid to upper 60s. I set foot outside earlier to go get some food in between breaks, and you could see Gainesville, Ocala, our northern counties are now flirting with the 40-degree mark, if not already into the upper 40s. And the feels like temperatures are starting to really come down now as well. You can see Gainesville, overachiever. It's only 9 o'clock in the evening. The sun's been down for only a couple of hours, but they're already approaching those upper 30-degree feels like temperatures. The rest of us trying to come down into those upper 40s as well. And this is why I went down the road, and immediately after stepping out, you'd think that there was a strong storm system coming through here. That's just how dense and thick and fast moving this layer of cold air is. These are our wind gusts out there right now. And you could see up in that same area, and especially along the coast, since we are still in hurricane season, I want to make the comparison. Brevard County, Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, they're gusting upwards of tropical depression strength. And with all this cold air coming down, it's literally, like you said, Ginger, going to feel like the air is punching you upside the head because cold air is naturally much heavier and more dense than the warm air and the humid air that we're typically used to around these parts. One thing I want to add too, as well, since our 4, 5, 6 o'clock newscasts, we've trended a little bit colder with our forecast lows. And you can see a lot of our areas, these are your actual air temperatures, are now actually forecast to drop below freezing as we get to the coolest portions of tomorrow morning, which typically occurs between 5 and 7 o'clock in the morning. Believe it or not, it's not shortly after the sun goes down. We got to radiate some of that leftover warmth out into open atmosphere before we really cool down. And then the feels like temperatures for tomorrow morning, just about everybody, minus a couple folks out there in Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, every one of us elsewhere are going to feel like we are below freezing when we step outside. So we absolutely want to take advantage of all the layering that we can possibly get for this 24-hour blast of bona fide polar air. This is a cold weather advisory we still have in effect for all of our viewing area from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. Minimum temperatures are expected to fall to freezing, if not just above freezing, but the wind chill feels like temperatures will be anywhere between the low 20s to low 30s. That's a pretty large margin of error, and our coldest areas are going to be northwest of I-4. And I just noticed from National Weather Service Melbourne, we've got some freeze warnings in effect now for Alachua County and Marion County. So our Gainesville and Ocala viewers up there getting down into the upper peripheries of Lake and Sumter County, you're going to be at that freezing threshold, if not below freezing, as we wake up tomorrow morning.
So it's going to
Oh
be
my
so
gosh.
cold when you walk out your door, it's going to feel like somebody bit the top of your ear off. Is that
Yeah, yeah.
you getting
Evander
my Mike
No,
Holyfield, you got
Tyson?
to go
don't.
I'm
ahead and
going for the
duck in
Oh
and
Mike
just
my
lean
Tyson.
gosh,
into it.
don't get that's a
I was
terrible
trying to bring it
analogy.
back around.
But no, okay, so you're
That's
saying the
comedy.
coldest air is coming between 5 and 7 a.m. Some of the kids are at the bus stop at 7 in
Yeah.
the morning
Mhm.
or a little before
Yeah,
7.
that's going to be the biggest obstacle to overcome. So, parents, if you can, either keep them inside till the last second if you know the bus schedule, or if they're going to be walking, biking to school, make sure they
Oh
are
yeah.
thoroughly layered up. That's how you beat the wind chill. It's how many layers you can put between you and the wind that's buffeting you. Because what the wind chill does is it takes away that natural body heat that we try to radiate off of each other. If we had temperatures in the 20, 25-degree mark, but no wind, wouldn't feel as bad. But if you take temperatures like we're going to see tomorrow morning, add 20, 30-mile-an-hour winds on top of that, and it'll feel like
Yeah.
it's cutting through you like knives, for lack of better term.
It's a
Okay.
good hoodie day. I know for a fact that when
Yeah.
I go to get my kids out the door, they're going to want to wear shorts. That is just what they're going to
Have
do.
you looked around our building lately?
Yeah, we
I
have
mean, the guy
shorts on
directing the
right
show
here.
is wearing
But he has
shorts.
really hairy legs, so I
I
don't
mean,
know.
those don't count as leggings. It's just that.
Like that's where Lululemon is jealous for sure. There's a lot of insulation over there. David Nazario, thank you very much. Are you doing the 9:30 show tonight after this?
I am. I'll have a full
Okay.
breakdown on everything to come, as well as the warm up that's going to rapidly follow tomorrow morning's cold event.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right.
Check out that show after if you're interested.
David, thank you
thanks.
for breaking it down.
All right, let's talk about some complications that have seeped into this week now. The
My
airlines
goodness.
continuing to reduce flights across the board at airports across the country, mainly those top 40 biggest, busiest airports.
Yeah.
Last week I was out at the airport. It was pretty smooth. It was
Yeah.
Thursday.
But
Things
they had
moved
just
along
announced
nicely.
it. They had just
They
announced.
hadn't cut flights yet. So they've cut 4% now at MCO locally. And today, reality started to set in for some of these miserable travelers. So, your community correspondent, Talisa Hampton, is speaking to some of them.
I'm News 6's Tylisa Hampton. As lawmakers are still discussing the possible end of the government shutdown, airports nationwide are still being impacted as the FAA's mandate is still in place for flight reductions, MCO among the list. So take a look at the line right here behind us as people try to go through the TSA checkpoint. It's definitely grown over the past few hours. And this is also a reflection on the board. Take a look at the cancellations and delays. They're in red. So 4% is the flight reduction today. However, Tuesday that will go to 6%, and by Friday it's going to go up to 10. So this is all just subject to change. A lot of frustration with passengers hoping that they can make it home in time. The FAA mandate comes after a shortage, with air traffic controllers noting stress on the system because of the government shutdown.
I was on the cruise, and we were on airplane mode. And when I turned it on, there it was. Your flight has been canceled.
If we have another delay, we won't make that connecting flight.
Just like the different colors on the board, some passengers are going through a mix of emotions to see if their flight will change to red.
So this is a mess, as big of a mess as it can be.
Yes, it is. So, now I do want to say there's a little good news possibly in this regard. Senators have
Let us
approved
have
a
it.
preliminary agreement to end this misery of this right
Amen.
now what is it,
41 or
41
Yeah,
days?
going into 42.
And if now it's not all going to gear back up right away. We know
No,
that it's
sir.
going to take some time to ratchet back up, just like they used a week to bring it
Yeah,
down.
well, the
and
things they
reduce
need to fast track are paychecks for people who missed paychecks during all of this.
And the president mentioned, I don't know how he would do this, or if he would have to get this passed through Congress. I would imagine you would, because they have the power of the purse, but like $10,000 bonuses for air traffic controllers who didn't take a day off during this whole.
I hope that extends to TSA folks as well, because a lot of them, because they
That would be
before you
great.
even get to the plane, you got to get to those people.
This is true, but
Right.
I would like to know that at the beginning of the shutdown, because
it
there's somebody who probably missed a day, they had a wedding or a sick day.
Well, if they already had it planned, but if they didn't just call out sick because of, like, I'm not getting paid, so I'm not going to do this job,
Yeah.
then I think people probably realize that. The other part of Tylisa's reporting, she said that they are asking you on social media to get to the airport 3 hours early. And this is not for international flights. This is for just your basic everyday domestic flight. Now, if you are just on an hour and a half long flight, and you're at
You
the
have to show up. You might as well just drive at that point.
I mean, that's
You're
pretty.
spending four
A
and a
lot of
half
people were doing
hours.
it last week. There were one-way car rentals went up by one of the companies. I think it might have been Hertz by 20%. People were just like, I'm not waiting.
Somebody she was talking to was thinking about just renting a car and driving to Houston, which is she said 13-hour drive. I think that's if everything goes
I
your
think her
way.
emotions were speaking. And I think once she realized, once she put it into Waze,
Right.
it's like,
Saw a few extra
I'm going
checkpoints
to calm
there.
down. I'm going to
Yeah.
calm down and wait
Yeah,
for
we'll
this
just
flight
wait for the plane to get
to
here.
take off. So hopefully all of that will be resolved coming up. Another story that is really just so hard to
Terrible.
report, and it harkens back to gun safety. I don't care that you have a gun. I really don't. Legally, you can have as many guns as you want,
Mhm.
but I want you to keep it away from the kids because they're not supposed to have it. Keep it locked up, keep it in a safe place, keep it out of their little hands. We have a horrible story that's happening in Central Florida right now where twin-year-old boys, they're 4 years old, they're in critical condition right now because they got a hold of their mom's gun, apparently, and somebody shot somebody, but those two boys are in the hospital clinging on to dear life because a gun was not secure. Your community correspondent, Mike Valenti, has more on that.
Two 4-year-old twin boys from Orange County in critical condition Monday night. Their parents now facing charges in connection to a shooting that hurt them. I'm News 6's Mike Valenti outside that Orange County home where investigators say those kids had access to a gun that the mother allegedly misplaced.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's so sad why parents are so irresponsible with their firearms.
Neighbors absolutely appalled Monday, some of them learning for the first time from us about what unfolded inside this home. 39-year-old Keshara Goodrum and 40-year-old Marie Sprite Jr. rushing their kids to a hospital Saturday. That's according to Orange County Sheriff's deputies, who say the parents had 3 guns in the house, one of which was allegedly under a couch cushion that morning. According to an arrest affidavit, Goodrum drank a lot of alcohol Friday night and was holding onto a handgun before she put it under the couch cushion in her living room. Deputies say she woke up the next morning, went to get groceries, and came home to make breakfast for her 5 children, while Bright was outside grilling. The affidavit says she heard a loud pop.
Put it where it belongs, put it away, put it in safe. And as the kids get older, you tell them, you don't touch this, you don't get near it, but you have to keep it in a safe place.
Yeah, just reiterating that. Just keep your guns away from kids because you have no idea. They're so curious, and we
There's
don't
5
know.
kids in that house.
Yeah, so we don't know which one got a hold of the gun, but the point is they should
Sounds
have
like they
never
heard
been able.
one bang is what it sounds like, and it maybe went through 2 of these 4-year-olds. From
'Cause
the
they're
report,
little.
it looked like one of them was hit in the arm. I'm not
Yeah.
sure where the other one was hit, but yeah, hopefully
Let's-
they're okay.
Yeah, let's just keep them in our prayers because that shouldn't happen. But it's just even
Terrible
just
situation, but I
keep it
mean,
locked up.
really, how often do we see it? Every couple
Oh,
of months here,
that's
where
what-
people are just being irresponsible,
Yeah,
and
just
the
careless.
gentleman in that house was a
Was a
felon,
felon,
who was
shouldn't
not
have a gun.
allowed to have a
Yeah.
gun in the house. So,
So he's facing
that family's now
additional
dealing with
charges.
a lot of issues because
But
of
we're
that.
praying for those
terrible
2
decision.
boys for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we have more interesting stories coming up for you after a break, including I have never heard of such a thing, cadaver otters. This adorable little creature. When you have a dog sniffing to try
Yeah.
to find someone or a body, they have to stop at the water. The otters.
Not the otters.
don't. Stick with us. It's interesting.
Yeah, and he got the latest from the sheriff just a little while ago, I think. So make sure we have that for News 6 tonight. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We know you're busy, but news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
That's right. And this is News 6 Tonight, where we leverage this entire busy newsroom with our community correspondents, our producers, our content desk, and then we filter through that. We have a casual conversation about the news that impacts Central Florida.
Yeah, we live here in the community, and we rely on you for our neighborhood network because you're our eyes and ears as well, and we can't do it without you.
So you can watch us all over the place, YouTube, News 6 Plus app, and clickorlando.com. While you're here, feel free to engage. Let us know who you are and where you're from. Welcome back to News 6 Tonight. Hopefully you're having a good evening, winding down for the day, getting ready to go to bed.
Catching up on some headlines.
Before you watch News 6 at 10 and 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Get the full range of emotions here. There's a new scheme targeting Uber drivers out there. This is crazy to me. You used to think of Robin Hood, where you steal from the rich, give to the poor. These Uber drivers, it's not like, they do well. Usually this is a second job that they're creating. And
they're not doing it for fun.
The person in this story has 3 jobs, and this is just one of them. And this driver was picking up a rider. He gets a call from someone claiming to be Uber support. And they say he's under investigation for drinking on the job. So he starts to freak out and panic. He's shocked. And they talk him into, they're like, we messed up. So we're going to reimburse you with a gift card. Just give us the information on your Uber wallet, which is apparently like your digital money is. And they took about $500.
So sophisticated.
There's so many of these Uber drivers that if they took this to scale, they could take a lot of money from people. So we want to get this out there. Investigator Lewis Bolden speaks to the man who's currently dealing with the aftermath.
I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden. Our investigation found a scheme targeting some drivers and stealing their money. An Uber driver contacted me wanting to warn others. It's this week's Schemes and Ripoffs Alert. 45-year-old Brian LaPersonary is a single dad who works 3 jobs, including driving Uber. He says a recent ride taught him a tough lesson.
People are being scammed of their hard-earned money.
He took time off the road to tell us how it happened.
This just really caught me off guard.
LaPersonary made it to a location to pick up a rider when he says he got a call from someone claiming to be Uber support, telling him he was under investigation for alleged drinking on the job.
I'm confused and in shock.
He says after about half an hour of being questioned, they determined the claim was false, so they offered to credit his account for his time off the road. They had him open his Uber wallet and directed him to enter what appeared to be a gift card number. But instead of a credit, they drained his account of the $489 in his wallet.
Oh my God, what just happened?
LaPersonary says he immediately reported it to Uber and filed a claim to have his money reimbursed. But it was denied because there was no indication of account takeover. News 6 reached out to Uber asking if it had advice for drivers to protect themselves and if it is warning drivers about the schemes. A spokesperson responded via email. Uber routinely sends reminders to never share personal account information, such as passwords or verification codes, with anyone, and we will never ask you for this information.
This is pretty tricky, though. These scammers are getting better and better, and if they contacted you while you're on an Uber drive, you would be thinking,
panic.
That's always the calculus I'm doing when I get these scammers in is, how do they know that? How do they know that you're an Uber driver? Clearly, there's some list of Uber drivers, or they hacked into something and got that info and then got your phone number.
I mean, I don't proclaim or profess to be the smartest person in the room, because I feel like, you're not you don't drink on the job. You've never done anything on the job. I would be like, okay, how would they know or think this? You just stop down. But it's easy to say when you're not in that situation. Do you know what I mean? It really is easy.
They play on your emotions.
Yes, because this guy is just trying to earn some money. That's probably some holiday money he was earning right there, and now it's gone.
Yeah. I will say you actually are the smartest person in the room, but it's not that big of a compliment.
Wow. Do you feel good about that comment?
I do. I feel really good about it.
How about yourself?
I included myself in there. That's why it's okay.
That's fine. Okay.
It's my favorite. Now you have my favorite story.
This story is, we always talk about canine rescues, and when there are earthquakes, they send in canines to sniff people up in the rubble and all of that. That's all land-based. Well, now there's a Florida county, they are using sea otters. Listen to this report from CBS. It's crazy.
Meet Splash the otter, a search and rescue otter who's helping first responders across Florida. Splash has the unique ability to smell human remains underwater by shooting air bubbles that trap the scent. Law enforcement from across the state, including West Palm Beach and Riviera Beach, took part in training with Splash at the Martin County Sheriff's Office Thursday. Michael Hadsell with Peace River Search and Rescue explains why he decided to train Splash in the first place.
I'm trying to solve a problem, and the problem is that we miss more recoveries than we get working in low visibility diving and forensic diving. And so I'm trying to put the odds in our favor so we get more recoveries, and that's what the otter's for.
Reports suggest Splash is the only cadaver otter in the world. Hadsell says Splash participated in over 20 missions so far, finding 4 bodies in that time. Martin County Sheriff John Budenseek speaks on the impact this has for his deputies.
We see a lot of innovative things with technology, AI, but we're going back to the basics of using an animal to do what they do best, and that's to go in their own environment and detect things that don't belong there.
Sheriff Budenseek says the county responds to about 1 to 2 people each year who go missing in the water, in many cases going unsolved. The demand for a cadaver otter is so high that Hadsell plans on training another one next year.
I could probably stay out 52 weeks out of the year and just keep working. So we're going to need another otter to help with the call volume.
We're gonna need another otter.
Like more cowbell. That thing's adorable. Now I want an otter as a pet.
Have you ever been to like one of the parks and you see the otter swimming? They
Yeah,
are
the way
pure
they glide
muscle. They're
through.
just a piece of muscle. One of my favorite things about otters is when they sleep. They sleep holding, I call it hands, but it's paws. They connect hands, and it's something called a raft they create, and it's for safety so they don't float away from one another. And it could be a mom. The mom will wrap her little pup up in some kelp. I know your eyes are getting misty because it's so sweet. I'm going to keep.
Is that what it is? My eyes are getting heavy because I'm so bored.
But
No.
But they all, and they connect paws, and it's a survival thing. So at night when they sleep, they don't drift apart.
Mhm.
And it could be a family of 3, or it could be 100 or more of them. Just
100 all tied together.
yeah,
A little
they're just linking arms in their little
I
raft.
don't know if I believe that. You think that's?
You've never seen that?
I've seen like pictures of them floating on their backs with the mom and the baby, but you're saying they go to sleep every night like that?
If they're in the water.
Feels like a little.
Why?
bear-
How would
it's
I
gonna
make
be
that up?
bear food. I don't know. I don't
How would
know
I make?
where-
How would I
I'm-
just come up
no,
with those
I believe
facts?
you. That would be crazy.
Wow. Okay.
But so how cool is it that this little otter goes down, finds the cadaver, and then releases bubbles up so they know exactly where to dive down?
Yeah, it is. Animals are incredible, and I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what little Splash
Mhm.
is able
I
to
know,
do.
could we
20
train-
rescues or 20.
Could we train dolphins to help us? You know.
Oh, you know they've been used in war and things like that, but not probably in the best way. They've been spies.
Ooh,
Yes.
All right.
We'll talk.
We should do a whole episode on that. All right. We're going to talk about Veterans Day and a very cool event that happened today. And there's some more stuff coming tomorrow. We'll see you at the end of the show after the break. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart, also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Welcome back to News 6 Tonight. Hey, if you're a veteran, thank you so much for
you.
the service that you have done for our country. And if you're the family member of a veteran, we appreciate
You serve
you
too, for
yeah,
sure.
many ceremonies taking place to honor our vets, as we should have around here. So tomorrow's the big Veterans Day,
Yeah.
but today our community correspondent Jana Manohalal was at one of the biggest veterans ceremonies that we have in Orlando. This one this year for the first time takes place in Lake Nona. Let's take a look.
That's right. I just stepped away from the event just to let you guys know that there are dozens of Orange County leaders and representatives here focused on honoring those who have served our country. They're listening to multiple different speakers and presentations from high school students. Now, this is the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War, and Mayor Jerry Demings presented a special proclamation and thanked service members for their commitment to the nation.
This is an important time in our nation and an opportunity to say thanks to our veterans. No matter what branch, rank, or duty assignment, we celebrate our freedom because of your service.
Boom. All right. Thank you so much to you veterans, and thank you for watching News 6 Tonight. Have a great one.